Hi, friends and neighbors. Josh coming to everyone with a tarot snapshot. I want to share this snapshot with everybody, along with some updates. If you haven't seen, we're going through some major changes at Deep Earth Arts. My husband Isaac and I have Deep Earth Arts in Littleton, New Hampshire. And for the longest time, probably too long, we've been a retail establishment where we've run our services and some workshops and classes. We're totally dropping the retail part. We're going to have books, we're going to have cards, but we're focusing more on being a spiritual wellness center where we're offering services, events, workshops, classes. The great news about that is that we're installing a smart screen. We're going to have a big screen where folks can participate in workshops and classes virtually. So no matter where you're at, you're going to be able to hop on and take part in all the fun that we have going on here. With that being said, June 18th, Sunday, is our Goblin Market here. And I'll also be releasing When We Die, We Come Up for Air, my new book, 7 short stories, 77 poems, a collection of some pretty strange and wonderful things that have happened to me, and some poetry that I've written. I will be offering 200 copies for sale that day, and I'm hoping that every single one of them goes. June 21st, those books will be available online, but if you want a physical copy, come to the Goblin Market on Sunday, June 18th. With that being said, we're going to dive into the tarot snapshot using the Disney Villains Tarot. I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to shuffle 5 times. And for folks who have never seen my tarot snapshot before, the tarot snapshot, the first card is the card that represents us. The second card represents what vexes and perplexes us. We can think of that second card as kind of our thorn in our side. And then the third and final card is what heals and reveals. We can see that more of like the rose or the love. So with that being said, I'm going to shuffle one more time with that intention of offering the tarot snapshot. That first card is us collectively, which means it's also me. It's also me. I get benefit from these messages as well. This card right here represents us as we are in this moment. So, Temperance. Now, Temperance is a fascinating card because this is a card of change, but it's also a card of balance. We will see oftentimes an angelic figure in the Temperance card, and that represents that sign of divinity, the higher self, yes. But we also see the angel with a foot on the ground and a foot in the water. And this talks about the balance between the physical and the spiritual. Right now, we've just entered the month of June. So things are very solar, very summery for us in the northern hemisphere. For folks in the southern hemisphere, it'd be more wintry, the height of winter. Temperance is asking us to do our best being that alchemist of transforming pain and turmoil into love and that summery energy of June. Okay? Now, the next card, what vexes and perplexes us. The Page of Wands. This comes up time and time again in this position. For any of these readings that I do, I get a lot of the cards that in the vex and perplex position that are the pages, and the pages are beginners. So this is the card of not knowing what to do with our fire, especially in this position. So we have this fire, we have this force within us, we have this will, and sometimes we don't know how to wield it. Fire is something that can warm us or it can burn us, and it's important. The difference being is that how we interact with it. So we want to interact with fire in a healthier way. We want to interact with it in a way, and this is our force. Remember, our will, our personal will, our drive, our spirit. We want to wield that in a way where it nurtures and warms us and everyone around us versus burning us and burning other people. And this is the belief system. Do we believe that we're worthy of love and peace and abundance, or do we believe that we're not? The belief systems that we hold about ourselves and our place in this world will, to a large part, dictate our reality. This is the card that heals and reveals. The Five of Swords. The Five of Swords. I love this. I love this. And I couldn't tell you, unfortunately, I couldn't tell you who any of these characters are. I don't know them. I'm going to actually look into the book and tell you about them. The Five of Swords is this card that indicates we've got to draw a line in the sand and we've got to piss somebody off. This is about having boundaries for me. This is also about having boundaries with the parts of ourselves that don't serve us anymore. If we have a part of ourselves that is reducing us, our belief system, maybe we have to draw some lines in the sand around particular beliefs that we're holding. I think that's really important. If I believe, okay, so I'm going to talk about myself a little bit here. I have a book coming out, and I just submitted the order to the printer to get these copies of this book. Now, this book, I had such a wonderful time putting it together. I had such a great time writing these stories, coming up with these poems, doing the table of contents, structuring the sections, coming up with a copyright page, coming up with a dedication, coming up with a cover, what's it going to look like? And I felt like I was creating an album, like I was a musician making an album, right? Okay. If I believed that I couldn't be an author, I'm not going to be. If I believed that I couldn't write a book, I wouldn't. If I believed that I couldn't have a publishing house, I wouldn't. And I do. Like, not only am I writing books, I'm publishing books. Got like a publishing house. If I had a belief system where any of that wasn't possible, none of it would have been possible. So, if you have self-limiting belief systems, well, you're going to know what those are because they're ones you would never want anybody else to hold. And if you have them, you're going to want to manage them and draw a line in the sand and maybe tell those belief systems to pound sand, get out of town. Okay, I got 3 minutes left. I want to talk to you about what temperance is. It's temperance, card 14. It comes after the death card. So temperance, okay, so these are Ursula's beloved moray eels, Flotsam and Jetsam. They're perfectly synchronized and in balance with each other. Okay, this represents the same sort of flow, harmony, and equilibrium. When temperance is drawn in a tarot reading, its advice is to stay fluid, calm, and adaptable. Going with the flow will make for smooth sailing, even in stormy seas. Navigate any challenges that arrive with calm-headedness. Perfect. Okay. The card that vexes and perplexes us is that Five of Wands. I'm going to get right to it. Or the Page of Wands, excuse me. All right, the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands represents an enthusiastic, colorful, free spirit like Iago. Just as ambitious, Iago hungers for power and glory, and please, no more crackers. The Page of Wands is a fierce idealist whose dreams know no bounds. Let's go with that idea that the fire in us is either going to warm us or burn us. Okay. Then the Five of Swords. I think I'm more curious about who the villains are in these cards. So that was Flotsam and Jetsam, that was Iago. And the Five of Swords here is Lucifer. Lucifer the cat. This represents battles and conflict, whether you're locked in a personal conflict or simply fending off a gang of uppity house mice. You'll need to be as sneaky, agile, and cunning as Lucifer to gain the upper hand. Take a look at what your belief systems are. Do you believe that you should be a certain thing or that you're supposed to be doing a certain thing? And if so, does that reduce you? Reduce your ability to be your best version? Now, with that being said, remember how important balance is and our ability to transform the negative into the positive. Remember how important it is to wield our personal belief system in a way that it warms us and doesn't burn us. And make sure that if you have any personal belief systems that are negative or holding you back, you draw a line in the sand and you tell them to pound it. So that's it. Join us Sunday, June 18th for the Goblin Market. I can't wait to see everybody. I'll be set up in a booth outside. With all sorts of books, signing them, and just having general joy and fun on that day. So come and join us. And if not, get your book on the 21st at the summer solstice. Much love to everybody, and thank you for being here. Take care of yourselves.